to be my friend. You're just here like me, waiting to see when the world will end.
And this is episode 1 of Whiskey and BS with Jeff Bosley and
Scott Seagren.
BS could also be Bosley and Seagren, or
That's
bullshit
true.
As expected. This is episode 1 of Whiskey and BS.
It's
It
gonna
is
be a lot of bullshit.
it is basically the a side thing to a day in the life of podcast. Just basically that way I don't have to change the name on the internet. It's basically just for convenience. So without further ado, the first thing we have to do is every week we are going to sample a new whiskey. And Scott and I, being two broke-ass actors, this is the extent of our high-end whiskey for this Saturday. Or this
You guys
Friday
should
evening.
recognize probably a lot of them.
Yes. If any of my Green
Jameson.
Beret firefighter brothers, that's like the drink of choice
Yes.
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This guy's name is, ironically, Jose Cordeiro.
Hey, look
I
at
was
that.
thinking like Jose
How
Cuervo.
about that?
And he's drunk already with you, he said. So.
Hey, alright. Way to go, Jose. Let's do this shit.
How many fingers you want? Yeah, I set you up for that.
You kept pouring. I didn't need to stop you. Just in case anybody's curious. What's that?
3 fingers?
Three?
Depends on whose fingers.
Three's good, right? If that's you, it's like 2.5.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's it's like bartender's choice.
Well, do you want to toast or do you
Yeah,
just
toast.
jump
Here's
right
to
in?
episode 1.
Here's episode 1. Okay.
And 1 of 1. Well, okay, so background for anybody that's watching and or listening to this. Basically, this is supposed to be a podcast. You know, have an audio thing going.
However that works, I guess.
I started this many years ago in Colorado, and it's just a day in the life of me and my friends and my peers, and who happens to also be my friends a lot of the time in Hollywood or just in this world. And for some reason, sometimes it's inspirational, sometimes it's a bitch fest, sometimes it's a nerd session, and sometimes it's pretty much everything in between. And
It's going to be right along all of those lines for sure.
yeah, Scott and I have. I met Scott. Holy hell!
Oh, I'll field this one.
Yeah,
This is
Scott.
fun.
When did we meet?
We met on a ridiculous shoot for
Oh shit! I was actually forgetting about that. I was thinking
yeah.
of Fix. I was like,
That's why. That's why Fix though. We read on ridiculous met, not read. Apologize.
so we begin.
We met on a shoot for a movie about Wall Street brokers who fucked up the economy.
On purpose.
That's on purpose, by the way. Which not far off.
Fast forward.
But we met on that shoot, and we were both just in the movie. And I got my buddy hired on as the DP for that, Aaron. And while we were there, we were working on our own project, and we said, hey, Jeff, that guy's pretty cool. He could play our bad guy. So we asked him to play our bad guy.
Lo and behold. And that was 5-6 years ago, and 100 pounds lighter. Or heavier.
I mean, yeah,
Scott
pretty
lost
much.
a lot of weight in his-
Since we met, definitely at least 50 pounds.
I was
at
looking.
least.
I was getting the picture ready. You can barely see the little thumbnail I made.
Oh yeah, that
He
one's
actually
just from
worked out.
not that long ago
Yeah.
too. Like
I was looking at old pictures, and I was like, God, Scott. It looked like he's went from he's now this, and he used to be this. Like he just turned.
I mean,
he
that's
stood
not
upright.
that's not unfair.
He used to be the number. He's now the number 10. He's this and this at one time. So.
Like I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about all that eventually. But if anybody cares, not that
yeah,
many people
fitness
do.
questions tend to come up.
Fitness questions eventually come up, but
Sean, this is a podcast.
yes, it is.
Go to iTunes, Jeff Bosley, or A Day in the Life of, and that's where I'm uploading these. So we're doing it live, but over here we have a podcast currently being recorded. We have a little baby mic and everything. The headphones are just for
And,
show.
you know,
Whiskey is not a prop. So yeah, so Scott and I met each other on that shoot, and then he hired me for another shoot, and then fast forward some more roommates, fast forward some more ex-roommates, not because of a fallout. And
Just from a series of really
Logistics.
hilarious events,
yes,
actually.
yeah, a guy breaks his hand, moves in with his girlfriend, and that's how it worked out.
That
What?
was the funniest goddamn day. I'm sorry, but it was. It was.
Let's hear it from your side of the. Let's hear your.
I
side
mean,
of the
I was
story.
just at home.
So there I was.
There I was at home, and I get this message from Jeff, and he says, I got to go to the hospital. No real explanation except me saying, "Hey, what? Why?" He's like, "I can't. It's a long story. I have to explain, but I fucked up my hands." Both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them.
Plural.
Both of his hands.
Plural.
So
And yeah, the gist of it was, is I was, as I said in the podcast, there's a huge delay here. That was kind of a mind fuck. We're still talking there.
the live video is not quite live.
Yeah,
it's a
the
few
live
seconds
has a delay.
behind.
There's a lag. That's worse than me on a radio station.
They got to
It's like-
censor it or something?
it's like a monkey at a zoo seeing his reflection for the first time.
That's probably so that you could censor it if you wanted to,
Possibly.
I guess. I don't know.
This also about structure. Is it class right now? Am I supposed to be in class right now? Okay, no, Strasbourg. Basically, I was at a performance center, and ironically, the place is called Unbreakable Performance. 3 minutes after being there, I broke my arms during the warm-up. And this arm looked like a special effect. It was all dislocated, and this arm is still a little messed up. And it was over the holidays. I needed help. Scott helped me out with my dog, Iz, and my girlfriend, whom I just started seeing, she, to her credit, stepped up more
Yeah,
than
dude.
anybody. Yeah, she stepped up more than some relationships that have been going on for like 10 years. It's
Talk
stepped
about
up.
above and beyond. Like, for real. Because I hadn't even met her. And you're like, oh, she's taking care of me.
Yeah. That was
I'm not
that.
going to be home for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just came home and packed a bag with my one T-Rex hand that was slightly less bad, and moved in with Pauline, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I don't even know where to begin. The OCD in me always tries to do take notes, like, hey, let's have a podcast template. But it not always goes south. But people obviously watching on Facebook Live, you're welcome to chime
true.
in, and we can go from there.
Yeah, what the hell do you want to hear?
But also we can, since Scott and I are in movies.
Oh my god. It's so many. You have so many photos.
Not me.
Jesus.
You know who does?
Fair enough.
The room next door.
Okay. Well, taking that into consideration.
Yeah, it's very perspective inducing. Let's first thing off, the movie. I've seen any good movies. It seems like a cliche segue.
Actually, I just watched, and I'm late to the game, so whatever. But I just watched Arrival, and that is probably one of the best movies I've seen all year.
with Pratt and with
No.
Wait.
That's Jeremy Renner and Amy Adams. It's the alien one. Shit. Yeah. Anyway.
I have a rag, and it's not what you think it's worth. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Arrival was really good. I thought that was a really good movie. It's one of those, like, I went into it with zero expectations kind of thing. Because everybody kept saying, oh, Arrival's so good. It's the most human movie of the year. Joking because it's about aliens and shit. But frankly, I mean, it kind of was. It was really a very human movie, and it was really good. Surprisingly, like, I got to the end of the movie, I thought the movie was good, and then I got to the end of the movie, and I was like, that's a good movie.
Well, crap. We are the worst podcasters ever. I haven't seen it, so I can't even discuss it with you. Have you seen Rogue One?
I have some.
Okay, so that's my homework.
Did you see Rogue One?
No, that's my
God
homework.
damn it, Jeff!
Next time we have one of these, I apparently need to watch a lot of movies. And play
Here's
catch
what
up.
I'll say about Rogue One. I went into Rogue One with zero expectations, and I thought it was awesome. Then I watched it a few more times. I'm not saying I don't think it's awesome, because I do. I think it's a good movie. However, after you watch it a couple of times, you're like, oh, okay, there's the problems.
Oh, so
I'm not going to go into the problems now because you haven't seen it. But
Yeah.
when you have seen it, we'll talk about
So is it one of those things the glamour is overshadows? Like it's Rogue One. It's the new
No,
Star
no,
Wars.
I mean,
so you're
it's
blinded by bullshit.
Totally worth watching.
Okay.
Even worth the ticket price. I'll even say that because I never say that because I think ticket prices are way too expensive.
Oh wow.
Personally, but and I love movies.
Yeah.
I could have downloaded it, but I didn't.
Because we don't believe in that. Let's see. This new Tamara says the new Star Wars is nothing like the old ones. They just aren't the same. It's good, but not like the classics. That's actually opens up a Pandora's box.
It does open Pandora's box. Again, we should talk about it once you've seen it. However, addressing that comment,
you argue Episode 7.
I've been a Star Wars fan forever, and I will say Rogue One is a breath of fresh air in comparison to the other Star Wars movies. And you're talking about a guy who has choreographed a Star Wars lightsaber fight with his best friends. Who, by the way, I can still do that fight.
Without getting winded.
Yes,
So
especially without getting winded. But saying that, I think Rogue One is a breath of fresh air.
Even
I'm
compared
excited.
to Episode 7?
I
Is
think,
it the same
I
vein
think
as
Rogue
Episode
One
7?
Rogue One is way better than Episode 7.
Really?
Episode 7, frankly, is kind of garbage. That's my opinion. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. But if you really want to talk about it, Rogue One, great. Mostly great.
I mean, that's...
Star Wars Episode 7 is A New Hope. Over. That's all it is. It's A New Hope
I know,
again.
that's sad.
That's all it is.
Okay, and
Instead
at
of
this point,
Obi-Wan, it's Harrison Ford, Han Solo who dies. And if you haven't seen it,
I was just
I don't
about to
care.
say-
I
was
don't
just
care.
about
It's
to
been a
say.
year.
Yeah,
Watch the
after
movie.
3 months here, the spoilers aren't allowed. The spoilers are allowed. Wait, so in Rogue One, is there any like massive like Han Solo dies moments?
No, but
So it's not plot heavy.
what?
Or is it one of those side
if you
stories
watch
that
Rogue
pokes
One,
plots?
you can watch Rogue One and immediately, literally immediately, watch A New Hope and be excited.
So it fills in that void. So okay.
Rogue One ends, not kidding, moments before Episode 4. Like, you go in, and I watch, I'm not going to lie, I downloaded it. And then I downloaded it, I watched it, and then I watched A New Hope immediately afterward, and I was like,
Really?
that's a new sort of invigorated love for this series.
All right,
Darth Vader kicks ass. If you haven't seen it, watch the movie because at the end, I'm not really spoiling it because I'm not going to tell you what happens. But Darth Vader, they make Darth Vader worth watching, which Episode 3 did not.
Wait.
If you disagree with me, you're stupid. I'm sorry, Reggie Ball.
Who's the actor? Hayden
Christensen. Hold
Okay,
on.
now here, yeah. Okay. Go continue. Let's hear what.
The
you're
only
about to
thing
say.
I do know this, and if somebody can prove me wrong, great, but I doubt you can. Hayden Christensen reprises Darth Vader in Rogue One.
Wait, so you're saying he's in the costume?
He is in the costume. They haven't officially confirmed it, but he was on set for a day. And when you watch the movie, if you've watched Star Wars as many times as I have,
Can you imagine how much it cost to hire him and put him in an unseeable costume?
worth it.
Wasn't Simon Pegg a stormtrooper?
He was.
In 7?
And so was Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
He did. I don't know if he was actually on set, but he definitely did a voice.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
that's right.
And Kevin Smith did a voice too.
This podcast actually way back from the origins of Day in the Life of because of Kevin Smith. His podcast, James Silent Bob Get Old. And he says, go make a podcast. It doesn't require anything, and you never know what'll happen.
Hey, nobody could listen to this. I wouldn't care.
Exactly. If anything, this just shows our self-needs.
We're having fun either way.
Okay, so Star Wars. That's frustrating now. I need to see it.
Next podcast, you have to see that. By the next podcast.
Have you heard there's a place up north that has a theater? It's called 4D. Were you telling me about that? Or something
I
else?
wasn't.
And that you can smell like the.
But I know.
Burnt. I heard they were playing Rogue One there.
I heard about that.
So anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's basically now they bring in your senses, and there's only I think 2 or 3 theaters in the country that are programmed for it.
That sounds right, honestly.
They basically,
Sounds about right.
some poor schmuck has to watch a movie and decide there's some prefabricated wind and sounds and smells, and they basically choreographed that with the movie, so it doesn't come from like Lucas. I don't think like Lucas sends them an audio track. They just go, oh, here's where there'd be wind, or oh, here's where there'd be snow, or the smell of burnt grass if it's a war movie. And basically, so yeah, it's 4D, so you get the whoosh of air in your face. You can actually smell stuff, and the temperature changes.
It's like those. I guess it's like those theme park rides. You know, you go like Dave and Buster's or whatever.
Well, yeah, there's one. The current
4D
Star Wars
experience kind of thing.
I just forgot what it was called. The Path of the Jedi at Disneyland. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't seen it.
That's kind of
Is
what
that
it
the new
is.
Star Tours?
No, Star Tours is the ride.
Right.
What you and I used to call Star Tours. Now I don't know what it's called, but yeah, Star Tours is the roller coaster.
I've
Now
never
there's
seen
this
one.
theater experience that basically, it's called Path of the Jedi. It's basically a 10-minute trailer from episode, covering everything. So basically, that's actually the thing to go watch if you don't know anything about Star Wars. It'll catch you up on everything and kind of slam it into one 10-minute experience. But there's wind and there's the temperature changes, the seats vibrate at certain times.
That's kind of awesome.
So, yeah, it's called Path of the Jedi.
If anybody's been to Dave and Buster's, what it sounds like to me is a Star Wars version of that dinosaur ride. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, because that was
Scott's
a
on
cool
his
ride.
own with me on that one.
That was a cool ride.
So anyway, I think what do you say? The new Star Wars are nothing like the old ones. Oh, that's the same person. I think we just keep coming up with it. Jay asks, how's the healing going? Good.
That is a good question.
I use the hashtag all the time, medically aggressive. Every surgery I've ever had, I've done more than I probably should, but every time the surgeon has been pleasantly surprised. If I only told them the truth, they'd be really upset. So pulling relish. And we just saw the live video yesterday. I did way more than I should have. I was okay. So that's that.
That's good to hear.
Tamara asks, here's a good question for both of us. Have you ever considered writing your own script? That guy has written his own script. I would always hand him ideas and say, polish this turd, because I can't write.
That is a direct quote. Polish this turd.
That's the extent of my
That is a
screenwriting
direct
abilities. Scott has written, what we got, the Fixed Universe.
Me and Aaron wrote Remedy. I wrote Fix and Sentinel.
Would you call it the Sentinel
not me.
Universe?
I would call it the Sentinel Universe because it
Okay.
is Sentinel City.
Okay.
Eventually, you guys, whoever the fuck is watching, you guys will eventually see a movie from us, me, him, all of us, etc. I can't promise a when, but it's going to be really cool. He plays a hitman who's not afraid of killing kids, which is pretty sick. Also, he's got a husband, which is also pretty sick, if you ask me.
It's a dystopian / utopian world, because like the way I read it is one of my first lines is I just say husband passively, or just kind of in passing, and nobody flinches. So that just goes to show in this world that people moved on past that.
The fun thing is, too, like, however you feel about the current political climate, and I don't really want to get into that right now, but however you feel about it, frankly, the current political climate equals perfect timing for the movie that I wrote.
There's a lot of coincidences.
We'll see what happens, because I'm not, like, it's a sci-fi movie, and when you got good sci-fi...
And by sci-fi, you don't mean like lasers, and it's not like that.
No, it's, science fiction, it's extrapolated reality,
There you go.
which good science fiction always is. It's just kind of, you're exaggerating what already is or what could be. And that's exactly what our little universe is. So, hey, who knows? Maybe that'll get some attention this year.
Well, to answer Don's question, current time setting, future or post-apocalyptic, it's just future.
It's just
There's
future.
no apocalypse yet. It's people wearing suits. And,
I would
there's
call-
still buildings and skyscrapers.
I guess you could call it post-apocalyptic, but the version of the apocalypse isn't so much...
Yeah, it's not Mad Max.
It's not Mad Max.
it's not the
It's
end of it, yeah.
or zombies. It's literally, which is funny because we started writing this in 2007. In 2007, we have basically Los Angeles, which is walled off by a giant fucking wall. Nobody can get in or out.
Coincidence.
And the only real currency are videos and video views. So tell me what you think about that. Started writing that in 2006.
Yeah, so
How about
Scott,
that
this is
shit?
all Scott's doing, basically. Let's see, so... somebody said Jeff, the dude next to you is extremely hot. Vicky, to you, if you... There you go, Scott.
Thank you. I'll take it.
So, Christina's 21 and loves whiskey. Enjoy your future. Let's see, trying to catch up on these questions. Okay, well, hey, I'll even do a nod. In my need to be OCD, I'll do a nod, a death corner, or whatever you want to call it, like Jeff's
okay.
Death Corner, which I can't take credit for. That's do you listen to Kevin and Bean on K-Rock?
I mean, I did.
He has
I did when I drove.
Okay. That's a whole other side episode. He has a thing called Bean's Death Corner because that DJ is fascinated by death.
I do remember
and he'll
that.
find stuff all over the
do
country
remember
about absurd ways to people die. But in lieu of Star Wars, we'll have a 2-second moment of silence for Carrie Fisher. Should be Carrie Fisher.
People's Princess.
Leave it to the WWF guy. I think of The Rock, the People's Champion. So now I connect. You just somehow crossed The Rock and Princess Leia.
Not only that, but some people out there, maybe one or two, because probably only one or two, are going to be like, People's Princess? Wasn't that Diana?
Ooh.
They're like, no, man, it's Carrie Fisher. That's my People's Princess.
Okay. Let's see anything we can spawn off of before we just freestyle. We covered that.
You did cover it.
Matt goes, I think he just challenged Jeff to a lightsaber fight.
I mean, if Jeff wants to do
We've seen
this,
what I'm capable of. I run and I break my arms, so I probably shouldn't leave my house.
I'm sure there's a video online somewhere of me lightsaber fighting. I would guarantee it in point of fact.
For some reason, I instantly thought a lightsaber kid.
Yeah.
Like, now I get some...
To be fair, actually, you know what? I can say this with confidence. There is a video online of me lightsaber fighting. And I'm not like the Star Wars kid. I'm actually fighting a friend of mine who I got to train for the fight. And we're actually wearing Star Wars costumes while we do it.
Let's see.
In the lobby of an office building. That's true. Oh my god. Go to YouTube. It's there. I know it's there. I don't have to try to pretend it's there.
Let's see. Oh, what's the question? Why not? Yeah, we're not going to get too deep into politics.
Not, at least not tonight.
That's actually a vow of mine. Well, quick, Alicia, this is just Jameson, the chief. And actually, I like Jameson. I have had, Johnny Walker Blue, which tastes like blood of unicorns.
Oh my god.
But
That's some good shit.
It costs what it costs for a reason.
That's true.
I think they definitely. Here's a joke for the non-military. You'll probably appreciate about. There's a running joke of wearing your PT belt, your physical training belt. Mm-hmm. The Army, the whole military got on this huge kick about wearing this reflective safety belt. Because
Ironically, I know all about it.
do you?
I do.
So this guy just said, wear your PT belt, you'll be fine. In reference to me always getting hurt. But, yeah, anybody in the military that gets getting absurd.
I mean, you're not my only friend in the military, Chief.
This is true. I don't own that patent. Disco freaking belt. Yep, Jason, you're right. Let's see. Jeff, I don't want to miss the Jeff questions. I'll just answer yes or no. Jeff, have you ever done a workout training video? No. Pauline and I have done we've done a live feed about during our workout, but as far as like the Tony Robbins, we did P90X.
I don't know the dude's name. I
You know
just
what I'm talking
know
about?
it's P90X.
Tony Horton. No Tony Horton esque.
Oh shit, that is his name.
Yeah. Let's see. There's one question I know we both want to answer. Who would you love to do a movie with? I will let Scott Field first.
Damn.
If you had to pick one before you died.
Oh my god, that is a tough question because there are so many good actors. And I don't even have a favorite. It's so hard to choose a favorite.
If you had to
there's so
pick,
many
well,
good
actually, let me
ones.
help guide. If you had to pick actor or director, if you had to pick one. Scott also directs. That's how I mean. He directed me and stuff.
Shit. Okay. If it's director,
Who do you want to boss around?
if somebody's gonna boss me around
Okay.
as a director, I gotta say Scorsese,
Ironic.
which I think is fitting. And if not Scorsese, I love Darren Aronofsky. I fucking hate Noah, but I love Darren Aronofsky.
You'll let that one go. People just chimed in and said they like you. I just need to, we need to feed Scott's ego. Shoot, press the heart button or whatever if you like Scott now. Let's send some hearts across the screen. Just go on. See how that feature
This is
works.
gonna be so weird.
You know. Dance.
No hearts
Dance
are gonna
monkeys.
come. No hearts are gonna come, and
We'll
that's
see all they do
fine.
here. I'll send you a heart.
I mean,
right now.
frankly, like
See, I gave. Oh, there's a
I don't
thumb.
know who's listening or watching or whatever.
Oh, there they are. They're coming.
Okay, fine. And I still mean this, and I hope nobody
There
takes
we
this
go.
personally.
Look at
but
that.
I
Well,
don't.
this hurts.
I don't honestly care if you like me. I never have.
Scott's good.
That's just the thing about me. I don't care. I really don't.
Not in Scott's defense, as the PR Jeff Brain goes, not in a dismissive way. Scott's. No, I wouldn't put you in the same realm of Justin Bieber. I don't care. Justin Bieber. I don't care what you think
if
of me.
you ever put me in the same category as Justin Bieber, I'd have to headbutt
Yeah.
you on principle.
Yeah, he was at our
That's
school
just-
the other week, and remember my promise is that I'll go find. I will if I ever see him, I got to hit him. I got there like about an hour late. They said, "Yeah, Justin Bieber was just here."
God
what?
damn it!
At the Method Acting School?
Why?
I don't know.
Why was he there?
Did you know about the janitor's bucket when he peed in, right? At one of his concerts?
Oh, I heard about that. You know what? All I gotta say about Justin Bieber is this, and I could care fucking less if you love his music or think he's amazing. I think he's a privileged piece of shit, frankly. And if I met him in person, I would hit him. I would. Maybe not in the face, because that's his moneymaker.
Camera, you can't hit a little girl.
You're right. You're right.
We don't
You're
hit
absolutely
girls,
right.
and nor do we advocate such activity.
You're absolutely right. I might trip him though.
And point and laugh.
I would definitely point and laugh.
Oh God, yeah.
I would definitely.
Well, okay, so Aronofsky and
Scorsese.
Scorsese for directors. Who would you ever like kill that act with, or opposite of? Or...
Okay. There's a lot of great actors who I would love to share a scene with. And there's a couple actors who I admire, who I have gotten to be in a scene with. But right now, I would probably lose my goddamn mind if I was in a scene with Nick Offerman. I think that would be amazing.
Oh, yeah, Scott is definitely... Scott could play Nick Offerman's, like, love child.
Yeah, Ron
And-
Swanson. If for whatever reason they did a callback and they did young Ron Swanson,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
would be at that
that is
casting
perfect.
edition in a heartbeat.
That's
Are you
perfect.
fucking
I
kidding
fell in
me?
love with Ron Swanson because of... You know, he really does woodwork.
He does. I know he
He has
does.
his own
That's part of
Instagram
the reason I
page.
love him. Are you kidding?
I found his Instagram page, and I was like, oh, click. And it's like, disregard his whole Hollywood career. He's up in some backwoods shed selling carpentry.
You want good
As
listening?
if Hollywood doesn't exist. He has a podcast.
Good listening or good reading, you can go to Audible and download his first book, Build Your Own Canoe, or Paddle Your Own Canoe. That's it.
Dude.
Good book.
He's up there in
Good
the... Who was the movie... Jim Carrey did a movie of the comedian. What I'm talking about. Tall, lanky guy.
Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Man on the Moon.
Whoever
He was
that comedian
playing
is.
Charlie Kaufman, I think.
Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
Offerman is that level of like, are you insane? Is this a shtick? Like, is this an act?
If you watch Nick Offerman in literally anything he's done, he's pretty much different movie to movie. It's kind of amazing. And then Parks and Rec, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Ron Swanson,
Ron
he's the
Swanson.
goddamn man.
Yeah.
He just is.
Ron Swanson for president.
In a heartbeat, I would vote for that. Are you kidding? Come on. get out of here.
Trying to answer these questions.
By the way, I do, if we are doing this literally every Friday, I get paid next Friday, and I will bring a bottle of Lagavulin.
Ooh. There are 2 or 3 people that told me I can never pronounce that I need to drink that. So there we go.
Lagavulin?
They follow me on Twitter. So
Hilariously, Lagavulin is my favorite whiskey. And then I watched Parks and Rec, and it was Ron Swanson's favorite whiskey.
Oh, I thought they used a fake name.
It's Scotch, not quite whiskey, but it's still good. If you haven't had Lagavulin, try Lagavulin. That's an open endorsement.
That's what I've been told.
You heard the word peaty?
Peaty.
Yeah, the Scotch is peaty.
Oh, like peat moss?
It's like that.
I will never be able to know. Like oh,
except it's
that
fucking
tastes
delicious.
Like moss.
It's delicious.
All right. Tammy, they
Just
agree with
saying.
your director choices. This person likes Scotch.
What about you?
Stallone. I gotta work with Stallone someday.
Fair enough.
I talked to his brother today for a good 45 minutes
Frank?
at the gym today.
How's his music career going?
Oh, really? He actually does. Really
I know he does. It's fucking frustrating.
So I'd want to work with Stallone. Stallone and Schwarzenegger. That's just the kid in the 80s action hero kid in me.
I can't fault you for that.
Though obviously we're not going for Oscars. Although Arnold kind of, I don't know. Copland. Side note, I love
Copland
Copland.
is a good movie.
That was like one of the first ensemble movies I remember when they before they started doing ensemble.
I mean,
movies.
that's a pretty good movie. Honestly, it is.
yeah.
If you haven't seen it, watch Copland.
Yeah.
Stallone. You got
Stallone,
T-1000,
De Niro,
Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
I
forgot he was in that.
Yeah, and he's good in that
Yeah,
too.
he's really good in that. Yeah, I like him as a. And then they did a little side movie that nobody saw, Stallone and him, where they're trapped in a prison, and he played another weak.
You're right.
Patrick played another kind of weak character, and I dig his character roles. But yeah, the Fu Manchu he has in Copland.
Robert Patrick is a versatile fucking actor.
Yeah, he actually is.
He should get more credit than he gets.
Definitely.
Granted, he's done some really bad movies, but
he's still working.
done some really good movies too.
So yeah, those would be my cliche, obvious answers. I would. Who would I kill? They're all like sticky. Like Harrison Ford because of Han Solo.
I would love to.
Dustin Hoffman, I don't know. Mine are all based on as a fan of movies, not so much the acting quality. Like I'd kill. Then if you look at I know you appreciate this as an actor, you'd want to work opposite somebody that brings you up. You have to bring your A game, or you'll get fired.
Yes,
I'd love to work opposite like DiCaprio.
Agreed.
Or De Niro for sure.
Agreed.
Dustin Hoffman. That would bring you. You'd have to bring your shit right.
I think if I had a short list of actors, for sure De Niro, for sure DiCaprio. I would want to work with Rachel Weisz because I think she's amazing.
Yes. Fountain, right? Yeah, that's what I love her the most.
Many other things, but especially I love The Fountain. If nobody knows what that movie is, it's Hugh Jackman and Rachel Weisz, and it's a sci-fi movie, and it's viciously underrated. That's my opinion.
Yes, yeah. It just kind of showed up and disappeared.
Yeah, exactly. The Fountain is. And I've said this for years, and I will continue to say, is one of my favorites, if not my official favorite movie, because it's got pretty much everything. It does.
And there's no way it's in any descriptor of it or text-based synopsis sounds like you're explaining an acid trip.
It does.
There's no way to explain what it's about. I just basically say it's about true love lasts forever.
Yes.
What's the tagline? Is that kind of the tagline or something?
I think it kind of is, actually. There's no good way to explain The Fountain. There's not. Because you either walk into the movie and watch it and love it and understand it, which is important, or you don't get it and you hate it.
Yeah, very
It's one of those movies.
Very
so...
Actually, there's another ad. I'd like to work with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Director-wise...
The new Wolverine movie.
Yeah, that was actually a note I wanted to bring up while I was driving today. So the poster has Logan's hand and a kid's hand holding it. Next time you see it, look at it. It's just it's not a hint or a thing I'm sure they graphically meant to do.
But if you look and think about proportions, the kid's hand wraps around, and they want to show the kid's hand holding Hugh Jackman's hand or whoever's standing was that day. Oh.
Camera
Watch it here,
down.
watch it here. Watch it disappear.
I am watching. It's gonna go bye-bye.
That has nothing to do with alcohol. That has to do with gravity.
Gravity's a bitch.
But
Stay. It took me a minute to realize that's the monitor I gave you.
oh yeah.
I know, and I said you could. That's why. I thought it was funny. I was like, oh wait, I remember that monitor.
So they have Hugh Jackman's hand, and they have
Right.
Hugh Jackman's hand down here, and the little kid holding it. And if a true little kid the size of their hands, their hand wouldn't be able to wrap around Hugh Jackman's palm. So if you look at it, it looks like alien fingers. To be that long, every time I see that poster, I can't.
It's a
not
tiny hand with really long fingers. That's what
Freaky
it
long.
seems like.
But I think I don't think there's anything to it. You don't think that's like a mutation? I think it's just shitty
Well, no. 'cause
graphic.
She's a genetic clone of Wolverine.
Yeah, but it's not like a
It's X-23 for anybody who pays attention. That's going to be great. And if anybody else watched the trailer for Logan and thought, hey, this kind of reminds me of The Last of Us, which is a great game.
Wait, that's
You're
a
not
game?
alone. Oh my god.
The
Such
Last
a
of Us
good
is a game?
It's such
Like-
a good
like-
game.
Forgive my ignorance.
PlayStation.
Okay,
PlayStation 3.
Gotcha.
PlayStation 3? 4? 3. You can play it on both, I'm pretty sure, but whatever. Anyway, Last of Us, great game. If you think Logan, the final frame of the trailer for Logan where he's standing there, his shirt's all fucking bloody, and he's got the little girl holding his hand, if you think that looks like Last of Us, that's not an accident. Just saying.
I want to see that, and then another movie's coming out in February and March. Logan for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look at my calendar. I
Do it.
I put it in the calendar.
We got time.
We got like 10
space.
monitors.
You know?
Let's see here.
Your calendar is crazy.
Because I schedule everything other than taking a poop.
I know you do, and I remember this. Like, this is not foreign to me, but at the same time,
It's terrifying.
it's
when
so
you see
terrifying when you look at it because it's like, wait, do you have free time? You have you time?
I know. God dang it! What I use to
Release?
categorize this?
Release?
Damn it! It was Logan, but there was another one I wanted to see that I'll actually probably get in line for. Yeah, Logan. That's what I was thinking of.
Logan's the only movie coming out that I'm really excited about.
I need to see Star Wars.
Unless there's
Star
something
Wars
I'm
is Star
forgetting,
Wars,
which, there probably is.
I did go see on Friday the 13th. Something, man. It was like Beetlejuice.
Did you see the goddamn Bye Bye Man?
Okay, the reason I did is because ever since I was a little kid, my best friend and I, Jeremy, would watch horror movies on Friday the 13th, and we sustained that tradition in my true OCD style.
I remember.
As we spread apart, I've watched them in the Middle East. I've watched them on shifts as a security guard at college, so luckily nobody walked to college that night. I've never missed a Friday the 13th, and this one week, Pauline and I just released it on the internet. So holy shit, there was coincidentally a horror movie at the theaters. It has to be a horror movie or a thriller or something along those lines. So yes, we went to Bye Bye Man. Pauline probably was a little miffed at it because I fell asleep. It was that good.
I'm not
So
surprised.
true to her trooper nature that she's been with me since I broke my wrist and we started dating, she trooped through that, and there I am asleep. She has to suffer the bad movie, and I'm asleep during the bad movie.
I respect your tradition. I do. But Bye Bye Man?
Yeah, it was
Are
bad.
you kidding me?
It was bad. It was what was the one with the bees in the late 90s and 80s?
Wicker Man?
No, not Wicker Man. Oh God, there's that. No, the one the actor's he's a black guy.
Oh, Candyman.
Candyman. It was the same vein as Candyman.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
yeah, it
I
was
saw
Candyman revisited.
when the trailer came out. I was like, "Oh, they remade Candyman," and they're like, "The Bye Bye Man." Fuck you. I'm sorry. What a
What is it?
piece of shit.
It's a good question. That's how Scott really feels. Sherry asked a good question. I haven't seen any of the movies up for Oscars, but who do you think will win and why? What is up? Manchester by the Sea's up. That's one of the ones, isn't it? You have that in mind, don't you?
I
bring
have
it?
La La Land.
Oh, you have La La Land.
Okay.
Is Manchester by the Sea?
I'm pretty sure it's
That's.
not.
I want Affleck to win that.
Okay, hold on. I saw La La Land because of your screener.
Yes.
I watched it 5 times.
Holy shit!
Frankly, I am not a fan of movie musicals. Never have been. With exception, as a kid, I loved Grease. I loved that movie.
Right.
I thought Hairspray was alright.
Okay. I interrupt or I'll totally forget this. So Oscars and musicals, that's where we're deviating from.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has a theory on the internet that Grease was a vision of what's her butts as she's dying. It ends with them in a car going to heaven. Like if you watch it through those eyes, that she's possibly laying in a hospital bed dying because it was an accident over that summer. That whole movie becomes like a death trip.
Huh. I'd never heard that.
Like I guess a lot of the lyrics almost are like a little end of lifey and the car going up into the sky.
I'm gonna have to rewatch.
Yeah, now
Grease.
rewatch it under that.
I'm gonna
premise.
have to rewatch Grease under that premise alone.
All right, so back to musicals and Scott and TV. Grease, etc.
La La Land. La La Land. Do watch it. I think it's a good movie. I do. And as far as movie musicals go, I like it. And because I really wouldn't call it a musical. It's got musical elements. It's got musical scenes.
So I was going to say, they break out in
I
song.
would not call it a musical.
But it's not like Chicago?
Definitely not. There are very cool things about that movie. Like, from a filmmaking side of things, when you see and hear about what they've done,
Okay.
and then watching it, you're like, all right.
I know some
All right.
very jaded people online, as in 1 degree of separation, friends of mine, that they saw that and it like rekindled a little bit of their youthful hope in this godforsaken city and industry.
So, again, I think if you want to watch, if you're thinking about watching La La Land, do it. Do I agree with the Oscar buzz on La La Land? I do not at all.
I have a feeling since I haven't seen it, this is just blowing it out of my ass. It's one of those movies where it gets Oscar buzz because it's sadly there's a novelty-esque element to it of, hey, Ryan Gosling wants about doing musical stuff, he plays the piano, oh, we're dazzled by this. Doesn't take away from the fact that there was a good performance, but they see that novelty and they're like, Oscar.
It's not.
It's
not
like when
even,
Stallone got fat for Compland. They're like,
Yes.
oh, he's a good actor now.
It's not even just that. It's literally, and I will credit Darnell Murphy because he said this tonight. I will do that.
This is going to be some poetic knowledge.
He said, and I completely agree. La La Land has gotten a ridiculous amount of award nominations. Why? Not because it's really good, which
Good.
it's pretty good,
Okay.
but more because it's like Hollywood saw La La Land, and they were like, "Oh, hey, a movie about Hollywood being great."
us. A new
Great! Let's give it as many awards as we can. Again, some really cool shit in La La Land. Really cool. Worth the watch. Good movie. Not worth the Oscar buzz.
All right.
My opinion. The other thing, too, is people are like, oh, Ryan Gosling should win a nomination. It's amazing. He learned the piano from scratch for this role. Ryan Gosling has been playing the piano since he was like 10. He has a band, and if you don't know that he has a band, it's called Dead Man's Bones, which has been around since about 2003, I think.
So he plays the piano.
Good songs, honestly. I love his band's music, but he has been playing the piano a long time. Now, did he go and get piano lessons for this movie? Guaranteed he did, because there's some classical piano. There's a lot of jazz piano, which is great, and it's really great to see him do it. And yes, Ryan Gosling is doing all of the piano playing 100% throughout the movie. They got a guy's hands to double his to do the piano shit just in case they didn't need him. That's a thing. You can look it up.
Oh yeah, no. Now that I've had, I actually got an audition. I hate the word because you think like you abbreviate or simplify various gigs you get or whatever. Like instead of saying, "Oh, I got the national commercial for the Kia Sportage gig," you call it the Kia job.
Yep.
Just a little whatever. Everybody does that with any career. But a lot of times, lately, because of my proportions, I get modeling jobs.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is for a WWF wrestler where they need a handstand in. Take a wild guess what I accidentally keep saying for what the work is. So I got a hand job. So it's a hand stand-in, literally, for a close-up for a famous WWF guy.
Hand job.
Yeah, it's a hand job for a
hand
war. I
job.
can't say his name. But now that I know that, yeah, close-ups and inserts, they're not going to pay the person $20 million for a close-up that's going to take 10 hours to film. You know, so therein lies why people like me get hand jobs.
Yep.
It's literally hand work.
Uh,
I don't know. In Hollywood, this double entendre can go both ways.
It's true.
Like, without
It's true.
So I had a good question. I like this. One of my favorite movies, actually. Somebody said you remind them of Jason Lee from Vanilla Sky.
Alright.
There's an aesthetic, yes, but I would say attitude-wise, I dig his, yeah.
Okay.
Vanilla Sky is actually one of my favorite movies.
I do like Vanilla Sky.
And as you know, it has Tom Cruise.
Even though it has Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And I am very deliberate about my choice of words. Even
Yes.
though it has Tom Cruise. If you think, Scott, Tom Cruise is pretty good. Rewatch everything he's ever done. There's maybe 2 movies he's good in. Maybe.
I would say Vanilla Sky. And
Rain Man, he's good in that. Vanilla Sky, not bad. Not his best movie, not bad. I would argue Born on the 4th of July is a way better Tom Cruise movie.
I would put, and then I just blanked on what it was called. The ensemble movie, Magnolia.
Mm-hmm.
I would put that as Tom Cruise's number 1. When he breaks down over his dad, I was like, oh shit, Tom Cruise can act.
Magnolia's got some
I
credit.
would do Magnolia, Born on the 4th of July, Rain Man, and Vanilla Sky.
I'll say Born on the 4th of July, Rain Man, Vanilla Sky, anything Mission Impossible.
He is good at what he does there. Tom Cruise talk with Jeff and Scott. I need to see. That'd be our new podcast.
Tom Cruise.
In
Is
this
he worth
movie-
it?
in this movie-
We'll find out.
We will watch him run.
I
And in
mean,
this movie, we will watch him run.
he runs in a lot of
He does
movies,
run a lot.
especially the action movies.
Yeah. Well, no, but you know what's funny is what's the movie he plays a lawyer? I think it's a Clancy novel. It's
Shit.
that series of books.
It's not the Boiler Room, it's the other one.
Basically, yeah. He finds a right to run in that. He's a lawyer.
He does.
In a suit with a trench coat.
He does.
Tom Cruise will
Hey, you know
I think
what,
it's his
though?
rider. Instead of like a bowl of green M&Ms, he's like, I gotta find a way to run.
The
in every
movie
suit.
has changed its title like 5 times, but I know it as The Day After Tomorrow.
Okay.
That's a pretty good movie.
Wait, the one where he has like the cyborg exoskeleton
Yes,
thing?
that one. If
That's
you haven't
good?
seen it, you should watch it.
I was judging
Trust
that.
me.
Wow.
Like,
I
it
was
looks like
judging
it's
that from the
fucking
get-up.
garbage. It looks like it's terrible.
Yeah.
We went to the movies to see it because it was like on its way out. It was
Okay.
super cheap. Well, yeah, whatever, let's go. So we watched it. And again, a movie I went into with 0 expectations, and I was like, oh, that ain't bad. That's a pretty good sci-fi movie all around. Plus, Emily Blunt is hot as fuck, and she is worth watching in that movie. Just because she's good, first of all. Second of all, again, hot as fuck.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Is Suicide Squad got an Oscar?
Suicide Squad, I haven't heard about it getting an Oscar nomination, but if it did, why?
Somebody chimed
Why?
in there and said, Don chimes in and says, how is Suicide Squad up for an Oscar? Don, what for?
Yeah, what
soundtrack
category?
or...
Is it music? Is it visual effects? What is it? I haven't heard about this. Because frankly, if Suicide Squad is up for an Oscar, I mean, they got a lot of explaining to do because that movie was, frankly, I mean, I wouldn't even say a letdown as much as I would say a piece of fuming, smoking shit.
Would you go so far as to say Margot Robbie is the only reason it got
Margot Robbie and Will Smith, literally the only reasons to watch that movie.
Will Smith,
And even then, Will Smith is basically doing an amalgamation of all the characters he's ever played. And Margot Robbie is in like a skimpy outfit, which is kind of...
She nails Harley, which is what they needed.
I mean, she nails Harley
But
to
it's
a
an
degree.
But it's an aesthetic. I think.
And like they make a nod to the costume or whatever
Yeah.
in one of the flashbacks. But
That's
that
awesome.
movie is a piece of shit. I'm sorry. It is. There's no point to having made that movie. The only good thing that's come from it is that Margot Robbie started her own fucking production company. That is literally the only thing good about it.
There you go.
That's it.
So yeah, that's Scott's small,
I mean,
subtle opinion
again,
on Suicide
agree with me or
Squad.
don't, and that's fine. But frankly, if you don't agree with me, I don't care. I don't, because you're wrong.
All right, let's see. So we got Suicides. Don's checking into see what you're nominated for. Yeah, I have 6 monitors and 3 computers running, and the internet is not cooperating. So I have to look it up. We have Google boxes right in front of us. Bobby asked how many shots have you gotten, you guys? I don't know.
How many shots?
We're measuring by fingers.
I mean, we're doing about 3-finger glasses each every time.
Yeah.
I just poured a new one since the start of the show. Jeff is on finishing his second right now. And there's
I don't think I've actually had any.
that much left in the bottle.
Yes, I don't think last time I drank was with We Believe Lions.
I had that
called the
wine.
Green Beret
That was solid wine.
It was very good, actually.
I drank that last bottle all night.
This guy chimes in. Snake eaters in Vietnam, Green Berets were called snake eaters because there's a running joke. Before Ozzy did it, like that's how they intimidated their enemies. They were the snakes. So I'm sure one guy did it and it would spread like wildfire. But anyway, he goes after the hand job. He was modeling for Snake Eater. I've heard to get that job. So thanks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, thanks.
Fair
Daniel.
enough.
Anything to get in Hollywood. Pam asks, Departed, yay or nay? I say Departed, yay.
Yay.
Very yay.
Hardcore yay.
Yes. I even liked, it was the one movie Wahlberg had to be Wahlberg to be in. Because every other movie Wahlberg is Wahlberg. Like,
I
but have you seen
completely
Daddy's
agree.
Home
I
with him and
completely
Will
agree.
Ferrell?
I haven't seen Daddy's Home. I don't need
Well,
to see
basically, it's the same as the other guys, but
If you watch the trailer, for Daddy's Home, you've seen the movie.
yeah.
I mean, you have.
It's true.
Like,
Yeah, so-
Wahlberg has his time and his place.
Yeah, Departed, I would say yay for sure. That was a fan. I think we also did.
Scorsese, Departed, great.
And on that,
Nicholson, Departed, great.
was that his
Leo,
last movie? Was that Nicholson's
his
last
last
movie?
good one.
What has he done since?
I honestly.
Because I thought, didn't he
and
like
that's
actually?
why.
Didn't he
Because
nationally state that he was going retiring because he was having issues with his memory?
He's not retired. Here's a great thing, and I only know this because of recent events.
Okay.
So Austin, your cousin, Austin is working on a movie literally as we speak. He gets to come home on the 3rd. Actually, yeah, but he's on a movie right now. It's a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
And one of the guys on the movie was telling him, I think it's either the director or the producer, they were trying to get Jack Nicholson. Oh, that's what it was. Louis C.K. has a great show called Horace and Pete.
Okay.
It's only on the internet,
Okay.
and it's really, really good.
Okay.
It's 10 acts, and it's like a play, but it's a movie.
Okay.
And every episode is like 60 minutes, I think, or 90 actually. It's so good, and it all takes place in this bar. But anyway, they were trying to get Jack Nicholson on that to like be one of the characters. They have a lot. The cast for that, by the way, amazing.
They must have a lot
It's
of
such a good cast. They were trying to get Jack Nicholson. Louis C.K. went to Jack Nicholson's house, had him read the role for all the episodes with him, and then he went out to the backyard, and Jack Nicholson tells him, "I'm not going to do your project."
Oh shit.
He doesn't say why. He just says that, and Louis C.K. is like, "Okay, cool, whatever. I got through with Jack Nicholson." He leaves. He's talking to the Jack Nicholson's assistant. And Nicholson's assistant says, he doesn't do anything anymore. He's fucking crazy. He just
I really
invites
think
people
he's
out
lost
here.
his shit.
He invites people out here. He talks to them. He reads their part, but he never does it because he's fucking senile. He's lost it. He's not there anymore. And honestly, I believe it. I
do too.
completely believe that.
He was always a little different.
I can't think of anything Nicholson's been in since The Departed.
Hold your thought. I'm going to hit save on this because
Do it.
these are gems, and I don't want to lose 55 minutes of amazingness. So hold it. And we're back.
And we're back. Okay.
Somebody actually had a good question.
Good question.
Y'all should do this every week. Well, we are going to try to do this every
We're going to try.
week.
Pretty much every Friday.
Schedule and life depending, yeah.
Which I don't mind, honestly, because like my ride up here, by the way,
It was very peaceful.
so good.
I saw a Snapchat.
Yeah,
It was along the coast.
beach. It was so nice.
I was in traffic coming from Hollywood, just very angry. So he's at peace, listening to his,
Yeah,
Zen,
I'm having
and
a good time.
I'm just-
I'm here, just you
I'm
know.
just angry as hell. Underworld movie. Bobby chimes in and says, "I want to see the new Underworld movie." Bobby, I am a moronic sucker for Kate Beckinsale in the Underworld movies. Even the little side one with what's her butt? I forgot her name. Not Gina Gershon.
It's not. It's
Oh.
it's the knockoff version
Yeah.
of Kate Beckinsale.
And even then, I liked it because I'm a sucker for it. And I saw Kate, Kate like my friends. I saw Ms. Beckinsale at a Q&A at the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, and she is funny as hell. Seems down to earth and swears, and British accents always get me. Accents in general. My girlfriend. She was pretty dang cool. And my thing, and I have. Yeah, this is coming out right. I have lesbian friends that confirm this. That I thought I was just weird, but there's a scene in the very opening of the very first Underworld when she jumps out of like the top story of some tower, and she lands, and she like it was Kate Beckinsale. The stunt woman was most to fall, and they put Kate Beckinsale on a decelerator, which basically allows her to fall, and it slows her fall. And it's a reverse bungee cord, basically. It reverses her fall, so Kate Beckinsale could actually be the person that hits the ground and stands up and walks off. She hits the ground and does this weird physical maneuver with her foot when she stands up and walks off. Sexiest they have ever seen in cinema, ever. And I was like, I will watch 60 of these movies if they continue making them.
It's really weird and really funny,
You know what I'm talking about?
but I do know what you're talking about, and I completely agree.
But I told that to a friend of mine, and she's like, Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I was like, all right, cool.
It's literally like Kate Beckinsale, by the way, in Underworld, the first movie. Oh my god!
Okay, and here's something for the gun people, all my gun fans that are following this. Note in Matrix, Terminator, any movie, Heat, the epic battle scene in the streets, everyone's wearing sunglasses. Kate Beckinsale is not. She doesn't flinch the entire time. All those automatic, because there are handguns that are modified to be automatics. She's not flinching the entire time, and I fail to believe they digitally kept her eyes open.
That's important. That really is.
Like I really
honestly.
yeah, because hell, I wore sunglasses to look cool. Because you flinch when a gun shoots.
If you've ever fired a gun, which I have at a gun range, the first time you fucking fire a gun, if you don't blink, you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't really know what to expect.
Yeah, your body,
you really
body will blink.
You're like, you shudder personally, and you like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened.
Yep.
But then you kind of get used to it. But either way,
So there's
he's
the
right.
chick.
He's
Yeah.
right. When you watch her in the movie, unless I'm completely wrong.
No, you're not.
But I've seen it enough times that I don't think I am. Anytime she's firing a gun, literally anytime, you never see her blink.
Yeah.
You never see her flinch. She just fucking fires, and that's so cool.
Because you had beer before this, I'm going to give you the last drip, but that's it. But yeah, so like that was about the same time the Matrix movies were just wrapping up their stint. Which, don't get me wrong, Keanu Reeves. I would say Keanu Reeves and Tom Cruise are the two most physically active actors that do their own shit to an absurd fault.
I have to agree. I have to ask because I haven't, but it's on my list for this week because of the new movie.
Oh, I know what you're
Have
gonna
you
say.
seen John Wick?
No!
I haven't seen it either.
Wait, I thought you seen John Wick 1.
I haven't seen John Wick 1.
I thought you made fun of me for not
I
seeing
haven't
that.
seen it.
Okay, well, yeah.
It must have been somebody else. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I thought you were
Because
giving me shit for that.
I have not seen John Wick. I have heard so many good things,
Yeah.
and it looks really cool and
Yeah.
really good, and like all the behind the scenes shit that I've read about,
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So
But I haven't seen it.
let's have a moment of silence and watch you get back to Social for a tower.
Oh, can
So anybody
we,
that's
though?
curious what we're talking about, go here. I'll just type in. You know what? I think I can actually.
It's
do this.
called Celine Jump
Wait a minute, I can type in my own comment here.
Oh, you can put it in the links, right?
There we go. I just commented on the page.
There it is.
There it is. Click on that. Let's see. It is the sexiest move ever. I just love it. I've never seen it in the theater. Like, oh! Maybe a cigarette. But yeah, John Wick. Everybody, if you haven't already seen it, Google Keanu Reeves behind the scenes training. The range he trains at. This is not an endorsement. Terrence Tactical. We've done a lot of. There's some random footage of me there too. I didn't realize where I was at the time. The dude does his work.
He's
he's
so good.
Well, ironically, it's like Tom Cruise in Collateral.
Yes,
That guy did
yes.
everything. Yeah, like those are the two movies where people that were weapons people or whatever. Like these guys did their work.
Keanu Reeves deserves so much more credit than he gets.
Really.
Like, he really does, because of some of the shit that he does is just, wow. It's so good. And then, another reason to watch John Wick, which, again, I haven't fucking seen the movie. But, because of how much of a cinephile I am, and how much, like, I care about people who put work into their movies, the director is supposed to be like this guy who spent so many years doing special effects and especially kung fu and martial arts. I remember seeing a featurette at a movie theater where they're talking about this new camera gimbal that they're using. Camera gimbal. Sorry, I'm slurring. I don't care. But a new camera gimbal they're using that's so, like, intuitive, and it's got so much range of movement. They can just, like, track around everything that's happening perfectly. And as I understand it, that's a lot of John Wick. Is that the cinematography is amazing?
Yeah.
The choreography
I don't foresee
is
it being a
amazing.
Jason Bourne cut every 6 seconds.
Oh my
movie.
God.
Like that was the thing I noticed, like in the Jason Bourne movies, and Matt Damon's one of my favorites. He could be one punch could be 6 cuts.
Exactly.
From 7 angles.
It's insane.
And to Keanu Reeves' credit, even in The Matrix, actually, maybe it's just Keanu Reeves, I don't know. The takes they do are long as hell.
They are.
And there's no joke. There's the amount of working parts that have to happen.
Such an appreciation for that.
Yeah.
Because it is hard. And
Yeah.
ironically, bringing it back to earlier, that is part of the reason why I think La La Land is a good movie.
Just a lot of stuff.
I
to
don't
do.
agree with all the fucking nominations, but, you know,
Fair enough.
whatever. If you've seen the movie, there's a scene in the movie relatively early on
In La La Land.
in La La Land
Okay.
where Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, they are leaving a party. She's trying to find her car. They do this whole song and dance thing at sunrise.
Okay.
Why it's cool. They literally did it as one take start to finish. One take. At fucking sunrise. Like, legitimately.
They literally had to be done in one day.
Literally had to be done in one take. And they did this over a course of, 4 or 5 different days. But they still did it in one take, start to finish. What you see in the movie is one take. There are no cuts. They are singing live on the spot.
Oh, no shit. Oh, okay,
And
so that's
it
a lot of
sounds
moving parts.
good. It
So,
sounds
okay.
good. The choreography's good. The sound is great. The whole scene is so good.
Well,
And
here's
it's
the
all
thing.
one shot.
A lot of people are like, well, big deal, that's what people in theater do. However, in theater, so like, I thought you took my joke for like the ninja, about ninja your wrist. It's like, how do you like a broken radius? In theater, there's a lot of moving parts, but not really. Like, I come from a theater background, so it's said with all due respect. The lights are on a certain timing, but most of the time the light cue is set up, the actors do their thing.
Oh, I know.
The actors are, they move in a choreographed spot. That's pretty much most of the working parts. However, in a movie, cameras got to be run about. The cameras are all running. Multiple cameras are running. Multiple guys with mics are being run.
Yep.
Depending on the scene, with sunset happening, there's all sorts of guys with reflectors. There's all sorts of moving parts. There's extras. There's cars moving. There's the special effects. There's practical effects. Those all have to be running at the exact same time. And so if you do this, like Scott was saying, one take, and you have to do it live and practical, and to capture good sound, it's. I'm not putting film on a pedestal, but to pull it off in that level of film does deserve a nod.
It's tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
It is
in
so
film.
tough.
That's why there have to be edits. It's not because the actor can't memorize 2 hours. I look back on when I did theater. I was on stage for like 2 hours. You just memorize your lines for 2 hours, and you remember where to walk. It's pretty much it, and try to act good. In movies, there's a bajillion different things going on, so it's not practical. You couldn't make an uncut movie. It's not feasible, or it'd be a home camcorder version of watching a play.
Or something that was choreographed for months and months and months. Like, for example, Children of Men.
Yes.
Fantastic movie. A lot of long one-shots.
I think we're lied to now, though.
Now? Definitely.
I think, like, the Daredevil...
Because they try to be, like, long shots, and they lie to you by, like...
Yeah, the Daredevil hallway scene.
Darkness.
I think the Daredevil hallway scene.
Actually,
really? I thought they went to dark.
I thought it was.
There was a lot of dips to dark.
I thought it was.
Well, what's the other movie?
But
Hannah? Have you seen Hannah? That was
Hannah
a long fight scene.
If you've seen, there's a movie called, it's got Caitlin Olsen. I think it's called Silent Room or something
twins?
like that. No. She is related. It's Caitlin Olsen.
Okay.
It's not Mary-Kate and Ashley.
Okay. Oh, that's
it's
what
Caitlin Olsen. She was most recently in, I think, Avengers 2?
Really?
Whatever. Silent House or something like that. They try to pretend it's all one shot, but you can pretty much see in the movie every single place they fucking cut. Every single place. Like, they try to hide it. They try to hide their cuts, but you can tell.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you panned across darkness for fucking 10 seconds.
Yeah,
You
I've
cut
edited
that.
something to look like it.
Yeah.
And I am shitty at editing, so...
No, man.
We're getting deep in the geekdom here. People are like, one take? What are you talking about?
No, okay.
The other guy's voice sounds just like Christian Bale's. I could hear that.
Christian Bale?
That sounded like American Psycho right there. Jeffrey H. You talking about Scott, right? Not my voice.
Are you talking about his voice or my voice?
I think it'd be Scott.
If you're talking my voice, it's not Christian Bale. If you want Christian Bale, it's like, where are the other drugs
That's
going?
Christian Bale Batman. Big difference. Christian Bale.
Swear to me.
Christian Bale who can enunciate before he became Batman.
He's got marbles in his mouth.
I thought you said marvels like in the sense of awe. Like I thought you said he marvels in his mouth. Like he looks in his
he's
mouth
got
and he's like
fucking marbles.
Yeah,
like
okay.
you play jacks
Gotcha,
or
yeah.
whatever. Marbles.
Okay.
MARBLES. Marbles.
We do this every week. We're doing this every week. New Underworld. Let's see what else. Oh, Don chimed in on Suicide Squad for best makeup and hair. Okay,
Really?
give them the Oscar.
Best
I guess.
makeup and hair for Suicide Squad. Really?
Because you could argue it's not a special effect; it was all practical. But it was
Whose
only
fucking makeup and hair are they doing that's getting a nomination? Margot Robbie? She's the only one with interesting hair in that fucking movie. The only one. Is that what they're getting an award for? Because that's bullshit. Right here.
Oh, Grease thing, throwback. A coma dream
Comedy.
is what somebody online the theory is that the entire thing is her. It's Vanilla Sky-esque. At the end, what if that was all a coma?
Okay.
So go back and watch Grease.
I will rewatch
with
Grease
the over.
with that in mind.
Yes.
Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
I guess that's the first movie that's only one shot. I'm not sure we're talking about that already.
Not all movies are one shot. Most movies aren't one shot. I was just saying, it's impressive if you have a scene that's one shot.
Yeah. Like, go watch, and a lot of times it's low budget stuff because one shot is cheaper to do, but it's also harder to do. So
It is
you
much
catch
harder.
22. Scott and I were just talking about Hannah with, I just blanked on whose name.
Eric Bana and
Eric Bana.
Saoirse Ronan.
Yes. Hannah is, if I had a daughter, I want that daughter. It's a good little indie movie, and there's a cool fight scene, but it is cut. Mm-hmm. It looks like one take. Because basically, anytime you're in a movie, you're following a guy walking down the stairs. There's so many moving parts. A lot of times, if a pillar comes across the screen, that's when they'll make a cut. They'll pause, get everybody in their new spots, and then pick up the camera again. It's like that old trick, like anybody that had a camcorder growing up, where you'd record a stationary object, pause, get rid of the object, hit record again, the shit thing disappears.
Yep.
It's pretty much that. The argument, and I didn't know this, Daredevil, there's a huge famous fight scene in the Daredevil TV series where it's a long, long fight where the actors had to just be smoked and tired, where it went to dark, and a lot of people thought there was a cut there, which is still possibly up for debate.
I think
Because at the end of the day, we'll never know.
I think it's up for debate, and we'll never know unless they say so. But
Yeah.
frankly, in all of my
I need to watch it again, yeah.
because I do like the Daredevil series, but I am very critical of it. Why? It has to do with the Punisher. And if you know why that is,
You're
it's
a real
because
fan.
of this guy right here, and you know exactly why that is. But anyway,
Oh, Tamara, you are my new favorite person. I just slapped my hand. That hurts a lot. But yes,
what did she say?
Punisher. What do you think about Rob Zombie movies, House of Thousand Corpses, etc.? I'll field this one right off.
Do it.
Yours will probably be long-winded. Mine will be simple. Love him. Rob Zombie. I met the guy at the cafe you and I went to that one time.
Mm-hmm.
I met him at a cafe, and he's everything I wanted him to be. He sounds like George Clooney. He's
does.
actually very articulate and very intelligent. So if you actually, I've listened to interviews of his on a radio station or whatever, and if you just close your eyes or you miss the fact you missed the fact they introduced him as Rob Zombie, you would swear it's George Clooney. So anybody go back and listen to audio of Rob Zombie, it sounds like George Clooney. Crazy intelligent, crazy articulate. So I'm very, 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 very biased. His movies are gory and gross, and they're everything that he tries to make them. Like, if you get rid of the Halloween movies, his movies are what he's trying to make them. Old, weird, like, if you went back to the 70s horror movies and made them today's modern version of rated R horror movies, that's what they're a throwback to. And he's not, I don't know, I don't think he pulls any punches. They're fucking weird. Like, what is it, 13 or 31? 13.
31.
What just came out, 31?
31.
Totally messed up, but I watched the shit out of it because I love him. I love Sherry Moon.
31
she was
is
there
cool.
too. I shook her hand with this hand. They didn't offer to take a picture with me, so this is all hearsay. So yeah, so Tamara, Rob Zombie movies. I'll watch them. I'll be the first one in line to watch them. I would kill to be in one. Scott.
I would totally be in a Rob Zombie movie. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
House of Thousand Corpses. What's the name of it?
The second one, Devil's Rejects.
Yes!
Yeah.
The Devil's
The sequel,
Rejects.
or whatever you want to call it.
Fucking The Devil's Rejects on its own is so good. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yeah.
You get
It's
treated.
better than 1,000 Corpses.
You get treated at the end, which is almost hilarious, to like a 7-minute scene
The Freebird.
with Freebird playing from start to finish of this crazy fucking scene of like the characters you become accustomed to encountering the police. It's fucking insane.
And it's right where they ran out of money for digital effects.
Yes,
The
but
squibs look
it's
horrible.
so bad, but it's so good at the same time.
Yeah.
I've seen the first Halloween movie, Rob Zombie's first Halloween movie. I thought it was
I dug it,
okay.
to be honest with you.
I thought it was okay. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it was
I mean,
okay.
again, the material you're working with, you're recreating Halloween. Which,
That's what
when
I'm
it first
saying.
came out on its own, it was whoa, it's cool. But now
You
that
know,
it's been done,
I try to give leniency to anybody that's like doing a remake, as it were, because it's kind of hard to capture the original, frankly, especially if it's a good movie.
yeah,
With Halloween, I mean, the first Halloween isn't necessarily good.
yeah. I mean,
It's a
really,
horror movie and it's iconic, but it's not necessarily good.
Yeah,
Rob Zombie's horror movie Halloween is not bad. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Halloween 2, I haven't seen it, but all of my
Pretty biased,
horror
yeah.
aficionados, pretty much everybody panned it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably not far off.
But yeah, it's I absolutely love his movies. I actually have to at my school do one of the things they have you do. I already bitched to Scott about this when we were roommates. Is we have to do what's called the exercise is called rock song, and it's basically to get rid of some people have huge inhibitions, and so to actually get up and I hate singing, but they actually want you to get up on stage and create a persona like a rock star.
Yeah.
And they're like, pick any song you want, it's got to be rocks. I know Brianna, whom you met, she did, who does the snake dance? Axl Rose. Something from Guns N' Roses. Such a good
That's
song.
so funny.
And I wanted to do Rob Zombie's Dragula. And why didn't I do it? Oh, I broke my arms. But yeah, I'm a huge Rob Zombie. Actually, that was my opener when I met Rob Zombie. I went up to him, I was like, Mr. Zombie, I know you're having Mr. Zombie. I know, I didn't want to bother him. I was eyeballing him the entire lunch, just going, wait till he's done eating, wait till he's done eating, intercept him. He was done eating, he collected the bill. I was like, now. I run up and I was like, hey, I know you get this all the time. I just want to say, every modern playlist or every modern online music app, you are the first playlist I create. Pandora, Spotify, SoundCloud. The first go-to is I create this Rob Zombie playlist, and he's like, "Wow, man, that means a lot to me." And then his wife shook my hand, Sherry Moon, whom, if anybody's my age, watched her in high school and junior high growing up, watched her on the album covers, the album art of all his albums before they were married. She definitely was in my bank.
I mean, I'm younger than you, but still.
Jeez, yeah.
Can't argue.
This is actually good for Scott. Did you have Jeff do his? Would you have? Well, it's present tense and future tense. Scott, did you have Jeff do his own stunts if needed? Yes.
Yeah.
Past tense,
We
future
haven't
tense.
done a lot of stuff that required him to do
Yes.
extensive stunts.
But I would, and
You would. You
Yeah.
definitely would, and you kind of have.
I probably wouldn't get hurt. But I'd get hurt walking to my car after we wrapped.
I mean, the very first project we did, there was a scene that called for Jeff to shoot a couple of people.
God, I love that. I can't wait to do that.
Jeff shot a couple of people, and then he stomps the throat of one of the people he shot to make sure she's dead. And I did say she in that
It's
sentence.
awesome. I watched this.
It's a good scene.
I'm not like a Satanist or really messed up, but when I watch this scene, my arms go up. I'm like, yes!
And if you think, I mean, frankly, I'm usually the first person to talk shit on my own work or writing. But having no relation to the situation whatsoever, Jeff has done podcasts with some fucking UK guy, some English dude, where they've talked about literally this project, and the guy said, quote unquote, if I'm not mistaken, "You are so terrifying, Jeff, in this role to watch you do the things that you do, where you kill these people who have a child relentlessly and unforgivably." And I'm like, yeah,
That's his movie.
that's what I wanted.
He has me play this very. I drew and I actually made a playlist heavily based on the Collateral soundtrack of Tom Cruise. The guy's a very
He's
calculated hitman.
Yes, exactly. He's a
and-
by the book.
Yes.
The company wants this.
Yeah, the company.
I will
That's a good way to
do
put it. Yeah.
this.
And he's very, and by Scott, and I'm not trying to blow wind up your ass here and kiss your ass here, but like by having the character, there's a quick allusion, like we mentioned probably 30 minutes ago about him being gay.
Mm-hmm.
It adds I think it inherently adds a sensitivity or a humanity to the character. So you're like, he's just doing his job. He's a decent looking guy. That shirt he's wearing is salmon colored. He is nice. Holy shit! Look what he did to that family. So
He's doing his job, but he's a goddamn monster. Like,
it's awesome. God, we should just release that scene. Well, that's a huge spoiler. Though.
it is,
Yeah,
though.
it is.
It is.
That's the one because anybody that's watching this is now my horror out time. Cowboy movie that I've been whoring out for like 3 years.
Parallax.
Finally release online.
Which, by the way, like,
Did you watch it?
you finally you sent it to me a while ago, and
Yeah.
I finally got to see it. And me, who knows Jeff, it took me about let's see, how long have I known you? 6, 7 years?
At least.
7 fucking years to see Parallax?
I didn't let anybody see it. But yeah, it's out finally. Vimeo.com/welcome to Foz.
He's good in it, though.
Yeah,
He's
I
very
really
good.
like it. I like playing the fucked up bad guy.
I mean, I added the reel for you, and
Yes.
that reel scene that he's in is fucking great. The rest of the movie is really good.
Yes, it's actually very good. Meredith, well done. But where I was going with that is that now is out, and Fix are the two things that I can't make Scott go any faster because life is what life is. But Fix, you guys need to see this. Scott, where did Scott Slopes? Randy, I don't know what this is, but they are sure nice to look at.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it.
What's the movie going to be called? Tamara, I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Yeah, which movie?
We've been randomly talking. The one we were just talking about where I play the gay collateral Tom Cruise hitman. It's called Fix. It's a chapter of books around a city, a fictional sci-fi city called Sentinel City. You'd see call it the Sentinel. What do you want? I mean, could you?
I would call it the Sentinel Universe.
Sentinel
and
Universe.
if you're interested at all, which, if you are, great, it's essentially, which is not far-fetched, and if you understand what I mean, then this will make perfect sense. It's basically LA, SoCal, Southern California, walls itself off and becomes its own sovereign entity run by corporations.
It's a good movie. I love this. I'm biased, but it's good.
Within this world of corporations, pretty much the only way to get by, make money, or make yourself known is either you are working for the government, which runs everything, run by one corporation.
You know what's funny is, and I'm not trying to, again, not kiss your ass here, but like as many post-apocalyptic and not apocalyptic Mad Max, but just some sort of weird turn or shift in society. As many movies as are out there about the corporation, I even think of what the hell's the guy's name in Aliens, the android.
Yes.
Because that's the name of the corporation.
Wayland.
Wayland
Wayland
Industries.
Enterprises.
There's all these movies that allude to a corporation or a grand corporation. Yours is the first one that actually addresses it as a major plot point.
Oh, no.
So,
it's definitely in there.
It's awesome. I'm very biased, but it's awesome.
I appreciate it.
I was going to say Wayne Tech. Isn't that like Batman the animated series?
It's Wayne Tech. No, Wayland Enterprise is what you're talking about.
I was thinking.
No, man. It's basically Southern California, Los Angeles, owned by a corporation in the current climate, walling itself off, and pretty much there's law enforcement, and then there's security firms. Security firms are in favor, and they get hired on in place of law enforcement. And the city kind of devolves into fucking ridiculousness.
Would you say they almost enforce their definition of a utopia?
I would definitely say
There you go.
that. The world of Sentinel City in Movie Fix is definitely a dystopian society where it's like, oh yeah, we're better than everybody because we're up here, but also pretty much everything you do is televised and on the internet, and we can track you everywhere you fucking go, ever. Which, if you're smart and understand, is not far off from the current status quo.
Could be there, yeah.
You got Facebook, you got Google, you got any other fucking website, and if you have your phone, you should recognize pretty much any app you download or use asks you, hey, by the way,
Permission to use.
Can we have your permission to use your location
Or your
data?
Mic, or your mic in your video.
Or your mic in your video? Or your pictures? If that's cool, great.
I'm posting a link to Fix, at least Fix still images right now.
Do it.
Somebody had a good point. Here's a question. Shit. Again, we're just kind of basically fielding questions at this point. Yeah, Daniel Craig is James Bond. I like that question.
I do like that
We'll
question.
take turns. Scott first.
Daniel Craig as James Bond. I was skeptical as a son of a bitch because
Wait
I
just a
am,
second. I'll interrupt you. When we were talking about Fix and you talked about LA, Tamara goes, "Oh, so present day."
Yes, exactly. But here's the thing:
wall.
I've been writing this since 2006,
Yeah.
so now it's perfect. But anyway,
Daniel Craig 007.
Daniel Craig 007. When the first movie came out, Casino Royale. Casino Royale, by the way, if you haven't seen it, great. It's a great
Is that the
movie.
one that opens with the parkour?
It's the
in the construction
parkour,
site?
it's the fucking
Yeah.
casino, it's all of that. Casino Royale,
The Scar Eye guy?
almost a fucking perfect Bond movie.
Yeah.
Almost
Perfect
perfect.
villain, perfect, yeah.
Quantum of Solace is garbage. Skyfall is pretty cool. There's another one in there.
No, I thought it was only Hero 3.
No, there's another one. There's Casino Royale, there's Quantum of Solace, there's Skyfall, and there's one more.
This is where if we had a producer like Roz on Frasier,
Sure.
she would be Googling this stuff.
Casino Royale was great. Quantum of Solace is not a good movie.
Who had,
It didn't even look like a good
Sean
movie.
Bardem or whatever.
Oh, fuck you. Spectre. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's how
Spectre.
bad it was. I already forgot about it. I was like in and out.
Spectre wasn't bad. Kind of.
Who is the bad? Who's the villain?
Spectre, I think, was Javier Bardem.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
And he was fun because Javier Bardem is a good actor, and
He
most
chose the. He went for.
he went
No,
weird.
wait. This is Christopher Waltz. Javier Bardem
You're
was,
right. He was in
the last
Skyfall.
Skyfall.
Okay, Christoph Waltz. I usually like him, but he was kind of whatever in the Bond movie, and I only say that because I forgot he was in the Bond movie.
Well,
I
he was his
literally
own. He was a character of the Bond villains in a way,
Yes.
which you could argue that's good or that's bad. And Ralph Fiennes, I forgot he was the M in it. That's awesome.
Oh my God, you're right.
And then Monica
Okay.
Bellucci.
Daniel Craig as Bond? Yes, I like Daniel Craig. He's had 4 movies, which I don't think he's beating anybody
No,
in the
Sean
Bond
Connery
game.
had all like the
I think
most.
Sean
Or no,
Connery
or
had.
did what's his butt? Pierce Brosnan had the most.
I don't know the exact number, but I feel like he had at least. I think Sean Connery had at least 5. Pierce Brosnan had 4 that I know of. He maybe had more. I can't remember. Daniel Craig as James Bond. I like it. I do. I think he's a good Bond because he's different. He's very different from all the other Bonds. The shit that he actually does and pulls off in the movies, very cool.
Holy shit! You wouldn't
Very
believe
different.
this.
What?
In an interview with People, the Bond producer Michael G. Wilson said he would love to have Craig do 5 more films. I don't know what year this is. Taking his total to 8. So Craig's only done 4 thus far.
Yeah, 4 so
that
far.
would put him ahead of the current longest running Bond, Roger Moore. He had that many. He had more than 4. It also
you
knocked
kidding?
Sean Connery, who played this spy in 6 films, from second. Sean Connery got beat by Roger Moore.
That kind of upsets me because, frankly, I have seen every James Bond movie. Not because
I
I'm
have
like,
not.
oh, I love James Bond. I happen to have seen every James Bond movie. I made it a point of like a rite of passage. Roger Moore is not a good Bond. He never
those
was.
Were dark days. Those were bad
I don't
Bond
feel
days.
like he ever was a good Bond.
those
And
were
the fact
bad.
that he has more than Sean Connery is upsetting.
Yeah. I like
Whatever.
Daniel Craig. I got kind of biased because of the rumors of his disgruntlement on his last film.
Yes.
Making $10 bajillion playing pretend. Again, that's hearsay, and Scott and I are playing and dabbling in this industry. Everything you hear, you got to take it like a 0.2% service value.
Yeah.
Because God only knows what the truth is. But you do something long enough, especially if you do it for 10 months, 12 months, 13, 16, 18 months, emotions get high and attitude gets strong. I mean, I at least in the military, you deployed for 18 months, you'll get on people's nerves, and you're going to actually quit putting on that facade of politeness and be an a-hole, if that's just how you truly feel. So maybe Craig just had a bad day, and that's what I'm hearing on the internet. But as far as I understand Craig, I personally believe Craig rocked it. As far as I understand, he's done. I don't think after his last one, and I watched his last one having maybe it's just this preconceived notion where they accepted me like, hey, don't think of a pink elephant. Okay, crap, now I'm thinking of a pink elephant. But because I heard of his bad attitude, it was Spectre was most recent, right? Spectre.
Yes.
I watched that, and for some reason, I could see his not happiness. Like he's like, time to shoot the gun. Like, you know, there's a very roboticness to it, or robotic performance, but that could just be because I was receptive. But
I kind of feel like maybe that's a production person thing.
could be.
Because
Yeah,
I agree.
We've ruined.
I really
movies
do.
are ruined for us, I think, forever.
I mean, yeah, kind of. Like, especially if you've gone through film school or at least know what's involved in the filmmaking process, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, movies are ruined for you.
Yeah.
Because you watch a movie and you know, okay, this is probably what they had to do.
It's
or
like doctors watching doctor movies, military watching military movies. Hell, teachers watching teacher movies. I mean, you name it, it'll be ruined for you.
yeah,
So
exactly.
it sucks because that's why I can't watch. That's why it's hard for me because I'm just a bitter, jealous competitor. La La Land. What's the new movie with Chris Pratt?
Oh shit.
With him and what's her butt? Not Invasion.
Oh, Passengers?
Passengers.
Dude, fuck that movie.
No, but automatically, because to me, I have a cat. I don't know if you, but Scott's a better person than I am. I have a competitive nature towards my casting pool. So I'm automatically, I love Chris Pratt, but I don't want to. I like Ryan Gosling, but I don't want to because they're younger and have better hair. But they're also in the same casting character as me. So it's like, I hate them, but I like them, so I can't watch their movies. Like, that's why I haven't watched La La Land. That's why Parks and Rec was so hard for me to watch. Because you watch the rise of Chris Pratt. Like, I think season 1, episode 1, it said, and Chris Pratt. Or
Yep.
guest.
And
next thing-
introducing
Yeah, and introducing
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt. Next thing you know, by the way, we auditioned for the same role in Magnificent Seven.
That's true.
He got it,
I was
obviously.
actually there when that happened.
He got it, obviously. But yeah, so you see that, and it ruins, just like anything, it taints your perspective of something that was so pure at one time.
Hey!
It was ignorantly pure.
He's taller.
I am taller,
It's true.
which is
He's
possibly
taller.
why I didn't get it.
By at least 3 inches.
That's what she said. Let's see, any other questions? You're so cool. Bale, no, that voice of the Christian Bale, please say something.
Is that more than one person who said that my voice
Yeah,
sounds like Christian
somebody
Bale?
agreed, yeah.
You guys, I mean, cool, I guess, but that's a little crazy. 'Cause
Not
I don't
words like
think
you
that's
are,
not
dog. Daniel, thank you. That's kind of you. Yeah. Thomas guy goes, can we call him Scott's Radamus? Are you talking about Sean Connery?
Scottstradamus.
Like
Nostradamus?
and a Scotsman?
Are you a Dave Chappelle fan? Because if you are, I'll take it.
Have you guys seen the movie Unthinkable? I haven't even heard of it. Have you?
Who's it? Who's it?
I have no idea what this is.
Unthinkable? Who's it? by?
Unbreakable.
I've heard of Unbreakable. Have you heard of Get Out? Because that's coming out soon, and that's going to be great.
That I have not heard of either. What are the Bronx Tales? Heard of that?
Oh shit! A Bronx Tale is a good movie. Chaz Palminteri, Robert De Niro, and some fucking
Was
kid
it a
who I
music?
can't
Or
remember.
was it not a musical? But was it one of the ones that? Did
It's
break
not
the
a
music?
musical. It's like a New York. It's a classic New York story. Bronx Tale.
Okay.
It's Robert De Niro's a dad who's got a young kid who gets involved with Chaz Palminteri, who's a mobster running a craps game, I think.
Gotcha.
There's a good thing in that movie, which is why people remember it. It's like when you're dating, you get 3 great ones. That's from this movie, A Bronx Tale. You get 3 great ones as far as dating somebody goes. If you're a guy referring to a woman, that's Bronx Tale. Now, I think that it kind of applies to men and women generally.
Okay.
But Chaz Palminteri tells this kid, who's Robert De Niro's son, and that's like the main point of the story, is you get 3 great ones in your life when you're dating people. And you know it's a great one if you pick her up from a date, you let her into the car, and when you go around to the driver's side, if she
unlocks
leans-
your door?
She unlocks your door.
No shit, I haven't seen that, but I've always thought that.
If she unlocks your door so that you can get in, no problem. She's a great one. That's Bronx Tale.
That also periodizes timelines.
Yes.
Because those days don't exist with keyless fobs. But my old Land Cruiser, which you've been in a couple times, I grew up with this truck like since I was 15. And that was, I didn't know that in Bronxdale. That was actually a thing I did, is when I would, raised in Idaho, I'd unlock and open the passenger door and let her get in. And if she opened my door by the time I got to the driver's side, she was getting proposed to. True or false?
My first car was a '84 Ford Thunderbird, and I had seen Bronx Tale at the ripe age of 16. So, in my Ford Thunderbird, when my girlfriend at the time unlocked my car door the very first time I let her in the car, I was like, "She's a great one.
She's a keeper.
She's a keeper." She was not a keeper. Yeah, no, she was not.
Don clarified. No, Scott, he was writing Fix since 2006 and happened to be now to LA. He told the future like Nostradamus. So Scott's, not Scotsman, Scott, as in your first name.
I would love to take exclusive credit for that, but unfortunately, me and my buddy Aaron, who has been, not now, but has been my writing partner, came up with this world of Sentinel and Fix, etc., and frankly, a lot of the ideas related to, especially now, our present time and future, did come from there. There were things that we discussed and I agreed upon, but they were initially proposed by my buddy. That's true. Either way, I think you guys would enjoy it.
It's one of my favorite. I think we're almost caught up on the comments.
Cool. I gotta piss.
Well, we might have to just wrap it there then. Anyway, yeah. I mean, hell, we're at 90 minutes.
We're at hour
So,
36.
This is supposed to be audio, but we kind of catered to the video audience. So when this podcast gets uploaded, it'll be on iTunes under A Day in the Life of. It'll also be on Podbean, Jeff Bosley, pretty much anything Jeff Bosley. You can
I'll
find
probably
me.
spam that shit.
Yeah, we'll horror and share, etc., etc. But yeah, stay tuned. Keep in touch with at jeffbosley.com with the individual that left me a major director, of which whose name was mentioned today, has seen Scott's work and my work. Whether it comes to anything, who knows? But stay.
If it does, we will brag like goddamn
Yes.
crazy. You better
Yeah,
believe
we'll buy random people islands. But that's it for episode 1 of Whiskey and BS with Bosley the Seagram and the bullshit. Thank you, and that's that. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for listening for an entire 90 minutes of your life.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for the questions. Next time, if you want to throw more questions, we will answer them.
Adios.
Especially me. I'm fucking hammered.
He's long-winded. Adios.
It's true. I'm laughing.
Waiting